Hi, this is MGT559 Assessment 2. Let's get started. So, as I said in the Assessment 1, before you start, make sure you've read all the assessments, particularly Assessment 1 to 3, and you have a frame for this assessment which you would have already developed for Assessment 1. And you would have read the 7 unsustainabilities of mainstream leadership. So you've already decided on an area that you to work on. So now you're going to complete the 4 steps below. You're going to upload at least one media resource, which can be a newspaper or magazine article, video or research. Now make sure that these are pretty valid contemporary media, and what I mean by that is, stuff from The Guardian, The Conversation, ABC News. There's a whole range of verifiable sources, and then there are places where it's fake news or it's sensational journalism, and it's inappropriate for you to use those sources. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll hop on the discussion forums and I'll make sure that what you're posting is on the money, and I'll help you to redirect you, moderate, assist you at all if you need any assistance. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to upload that to your specific forum, and there are 3 discussion forums, and so you'll have to keep going with the area that you decided on, either leadership for sustainability, ethics and social justice, or health and well-being. So you're going to copy and paste the full citation of the source you have selected into your learning journal. Now you might do that one, and you might also want to look at some of the ones that your peers have posted as well, because they're going to enrich your inquiry. So it'll be entered and completed on the discussion board. So you're going to engage with your peers on their discussion board, but you must also copy it into your learning journal, okay? And include the discussion board commentary into that learning journal as well, so I can grade it, because it's directly related to Grade Centre. Then you have to include a critical commentary, which is about 150 words. So your commentary should include a response to the following question. How does the article portray the issue that is a challenge, problem, or shared dilemma? So think about that. Your article, how does the article portray the issue? So you might have an issue about, in the arena of gender equality, maybe, in the area of a sustainability program for corporate social responsibility. But how does this particular article that you've pulled up from the media portray the issue as a challenge, a problem, or a shared dilemma? And to be able to do that critical commentary, you will have to read that article. Okay, so you actually understand the difference between those 3. So respond to another student, comment on one other student's critical commentary. So in your comment, address the following questions. How is the other student's leadership issue a shared dilemma? So a shared dilemma is something that's not just a problem or a challenge or an issue for 1 or 2 people. It's a shared dilemma across society. It's a collective dilemma. So for instance, we might see that climate change is only affecting certain people, but climate change is a shared dilemma for all of us, and will be more and more so a shared dilemma, because although initially places like Bangladesh and the Pacific Islands, etc., are being impacted by sea level rise, that's one example. That's also a shared dilemma for us, because those people aren't going to be able to live where they live already a lot of people in Bangladesh are refugees and fleeing to other places. So we're going to have to find how we can support them. It's also a shared dilemma in the way that we're actually quite often, as developed nations, creating that problem. So think more deeply about what is it a shared dilemma. So how is the other student's leadership issue a shared dilemma? So it's not just an issue or a challenge or a problem, it's actually shared globally. In what ways does the other student's leadership issue intersect with your own leadership issue focus area? So think about how that intersects, because most of these things do, but how does that intersect? So a critical commentary means you provide insight into the views from different perspectives and draw your own conclusions. So there's a little bit more information here about critical reading. We did have a link to critical commentary, but it's no longer available. So we've linked to this, and we'll talk more about that too in the lecture. Not this lecture that we're having, the first lecture, but the second. So then you have to submit it to your learning journal, but don't forget to submit the media article with the link, the critical commentary, and the response to the other student. And remember that the media article has to have a reference. So if you have any questions, as I've said before, don't hesitate to contact me. This can be challenging. The other thing is too, when you're looking for contemporary media, you might also want to look at what other people are posting. You have to post something different, obviously. Or you might want to contact a librarian to assist you with your search. And you can also do that for your first assessment as well. Librarians are there to help you find articles and to do research. So if you've got a very strong idea as to what you're looking at, it might be ethical leadership, it might be mental health, it might be something specific to do with mental health, you can contact a librarian for assistance as well. So I hope this has been informative, and you'll be able to gain some insight as a result.